Morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I have a few things that, well, I was told to go over. Just give me a second. They're telling me which one to go through first. Okay. Um, in my other video, I spoke about, you know, messing with the phone, trying to hack in, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember. I was getting the trying to hear them in my last video. I can't remember what I named it, but it was the recent one that I just put up. Anyway, other than that, with the trying to get in it, I've noticed, and I think I did bring that up in the video, that you know I was having problems with the sound, trying to hear some videos or whatever that, I come across. And all of a sudden, also videos freezing. But I noticed that it was only on ones that, I don't know, that I haven't gone on in a while. But all of a sudden, some comes through. And when I go on it, that's when all of it happens. But I also said, what will happen if it continues in my other video? But I also, this is way before that I heard the confirmation on something. And matter of fact, I was looking through and I was telling somebody about what I'm going to say. And prior to that, I also said about animals. Well, you didn't listen, and I got confirmation that some are visiting all of these groups and whoever else that's involved and who's doing it to others other than my situation. And I was told that one of them visit, I don't know, I'll just say karmic, whatever. I don't know what the call is. Because of your karma, I guess my animal visit because, you tried to do a ritual with an animal. So one of my animals, and that's not the only one that will be visiting all of you, well, left the little droppings all over, you know. Um, put it this way. You're not going to know what kind of animal I had because, believe me, I had different kinds, you know, all kinds. And I had a lot of them. But they also lived, between 18 to 22 years. But anyway, my animals were very protective of all of us. So, because you were constant doing crap, well, and you're doing rituals on animals, and other than that, well, now they're all, well, pissed, well, mad. So now, here they come. And it's not only my animals, it's all kinds. Not, you know, even though I had all kinds of animals. So now they're all going to visit you. But the thing is, you're not going to know when, the men are ready to pick you up, to put you away, because by the time you wake up, you're going to think that you're seeing a ghost, like you're seeing, the spirits of the animals. So you're going to think that, oh, this isn't real, whatever. You're not going to know what's real or whatever. So by the time you wake up, you'll be in handcuffs. Doesn't matter. And the other thing that I mentioned in it, about coughing and whatever, I can't remember. That was the other video right before my last one. You will know. People will know the difference. And my family, I'm talking about my brothers and sisters who speak the truth. We're here to wake people up, to get the truth out, and spread love and peace. So, and because we are doing that, people know the difference now, are starting to. Well, put it this way, I'm hoping. And I was also told that, with most of you, that it's going to be a shocker of who all of you are. No, it won't. It's not going to be. Nope. It's not going to be. Believe me. I was going to say it might be a disappointment, but no, I don't think that will be either. No, I don't know. Put it this way, everything that I've been through and everything that I know, nothing phases me. But whatever. And I don't know who it is. Well, my team does, but it doesn't matter. I said to ignore that because I know you're part of the group. Um, you know, somebody tried to text. Yeah, I know where you're from. You know, even though it's I think it's a California, but this came up Delaware. Well, put it this way, I don't know where any of that they are. Don't even know how to get there. And whatever. You know, when a high popped up the first time, but then it was another one. And my team said, well, I don't know what they said really, but I really don't care. And I'm supposed to give the phone number, but you know what? I'm not going to. I really don't care. I mean, really. And speaking of, texts and crap like that. Oh, wait. Don't want to hear about that blueberry coffee, which is good. But anyway. Sorry. Oh, this is, yeah. That's next. That one was funny. Anyway, speaking of, texts and everything. This is also getting out of hand too. Doesn't matter if you're the girlfriend, wife, or husband, or boyfriend, whatever. It's still getting out of hand. Spirit is really, really mad about all this jealousy and the lies and etc., that they, and I said this before, and it keeps getting brought up again, but anyway, that, these people, one was a male, one was, in another news thing, I don't know, was a girl. That this girl, it was for the male too, same scenario, but anyway, they saw that they were texting another person. Okay, first of all, if you see that and you ask about it, but they tell you, okay, Now, what I'm about to say is really uncalled for. This girl didn't ask. She just, I don't know what weapon she used. She murdered her boyfriend because, without asking, she didn't know who they were texting. All they knew was that he was texting another girl. Now she goes behind bars, and so does the male. You know, what did you think? You wouldn't get caught? You wouldn't be punished? Yeah, okay. And what happens if you have kids and you did all this? So now they have no one because one got murdered, the other one is in prison. So where does that leave them? And if they heard about it or seen it, what is that going to teach them? Especially if, at that point where, they didn't really fully understood that you're in jail, but they think when they grow up that that's natural. So what are you doing? Doing the bloodline, continuing, teaching. But the real reason is because neither one of them asked and they got murdered for no reason. Well, no one should. Was a relative they were texting. They didn't bother looking to see what was said. They just noticed that it was a girl or male's name. Now, first of all, if you see and you know for a fact and you asked and that person said, oh yeah, I'm talking to another girl or another guy. Okay, well, that is your sign. Okay, well, this person isn't the one. You move on. First of all, no one should cheat. So, you know, if you think all that's okay, okay. But no one's telling you, or maybe how karma or, you know, eventually the whole truth will come out and you get punished. But whatever. And speaking of, oh, that's good there. Speaking of, I did this the very first time that I came on here. How a relationship should be. you know, without cheating and all that, and how a marriage should, work. You should work together. Yes, you know, the man, your man, or whatever, is the head of the household. It's his castle, whatever. But that doesn't mean that, you know, they have the right to control. I saw something, and this guy told this woman, if you're married to me, what I say goes. Really? Is that what you call controlling? Don't know. I mean, I do know, but I'm just saying. No. Now I can see, this is what I don't get. You know, if both of you are working, just say, you know, you both work together and, keeping your castle, as I put it, your home, nice. But you also respect each other's, space too. You always speak to each other about anything and everything, you know, like if something comes up or whatever, you know, should I go for this? And this will, keep us a little bit, where we have a little bit of problem, just say with money. I'm not going to, I have to build up or whatever, but we need to cut down a little bit for a little bit, you know, whatever it may be. You both agree on everything, you know. If something needs to be quick or whatever, well, first of all, you know, if somebody wants an answer quickly without you looking at it, you shouldn't do it, because something's about that. To me, it might be a little bit of fake or whatever. No, both should work together. Now, if your wife is home all day, you know, yeah, she, cooks or whatever, or you wait until both of you are home and you both cook together, whatever, you know. And if you have children and your wife needs to run around with errands and, you know, get the house clean and all that, I sure hope that the husband doesn't come home thinking, sees that a certain thing wasn't done and then starts yelling. Because, as I was growing up, I've seen it that, you know, I'm saying this isn't for all, okay? I'm talking about the ones, you know, think that, doing errands all day long, sometimes you have to wait for things or whatever. You know, the woman is trying to stay on a schedule. This way, everything is done. But you never know. Doesn't matter how early or whatever, you know, and the kids, you know, didn't pick up their toys or whatever, even though that you taught them, or, sometimes they don't do it and you have to pick it up. That's not hard, that you're not working. Now, for the ones who, want the man to do everything, or vice versa, it could be you're just sitting there watching TV and, whatever, and your kids are all over the place and you're not doing anything or doing running errands or paying this or phone calls that you're supposed to make, whatever. Now I can see whoever saying something. That is no relationship. You know, I'm just saying. And the other one is, where is that one? Well, I remember it. The other one is, if you're spiritual, now I know, I mean, I might miss, some things, and I'm not probably saying this right, but the ones who are spiritual knows what I'm talking about. In order for you to attract things, there are certain words that you should say instead of, take, for instance, I am successful, instead of, I should or whatever. There are certain words that you should use. Thing is, I saw something and then I heard you should bring that up. So I wrote it down somewhere, but I can't find it. But anyway, I saw this thing and I saw like part of it. This person, it was like an interview or whatever. This person asked her, this woman who says that she's spiritual. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mocking her. I'm not telling who she is or who they are. I meant to say, sorry. Um, but what I don't understand is, I said this in my other videos in the beginning when I first started, you know, about being spiritual. There's all kinds, you know, a lot of people are fanatics about it, but some go way too far and it's not true. But this, you know, same for this person. Look up the words. And if you want to be spiritual, research about it. This inner host or whatever who was interviewing asked them a question with the word should in it. And it took them a while to answer. And then all of a sudden, they said, I don't use should. And I forget what else because I was too busy laughing. Whatever the answer was, it was lame. So the host said, so you're saying you don't use the word should, that it should be deleted. And then they said, well, if you have kids, should you feed them? Another lame answer. I forget what that answer was, but it was lame. I think it was, I don't remember. I think it was if it comes up or something like that. It was a stupid answer. Put it that way. Well, my thing is if if you're spiritual and so happen you heard God or one of your ancestors telling you not to do something, that you should not do that, are you going to take the risk of not listening? Good luck with that one. Now, how I took it is because that person heard should. Now, one, they're probably going through that because they said should. That can mean to anybody, I guess it triggered them where you're always being told what to do, or you can't, step up of responsibility. Now, should isn't always doesn't always mean that somebody's trying to tell you what to do. You have your own mind, but you know, it's the way a sentence is, how to take it. Now, like these ones who are constantly doing the magic, and all of us kept saying, well, we kept saying, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. Well, I guess it's the same. That, you know, they're trying to step up and saying, well, no one tells us what to do. We do whatever we want. Well, because of that you didn't take someone's advice, look where you're going to wind up at. Now, I know the difference, okay? When someone is trying to tell me not to do something, believe me, I was always told not to do something. And as I got older, I knew something was up. I knew that wasn't right. I knew the difference. And technically, all of who I was just talking about knows the difference. So I'm tired. See, I have problems sometimes with, vocabulary. It depends. Especially, when I was sheltered, I didn't hear much or speak, whatever. Every time I tried to speak, I got told to shut up, whatever, etc., etc. You know, I'm tired of people knowing something and saying that, a complete opposite thing. It's one thing that you really didn't know. But if you were told you should always, look into things or research it to see the truth or know about something, now I wasn't the only one that said that. I mean, I said that in the beginning when I first started these videos, that you should always research and look into things before you either sign or do something. I call all this that ones who been getting away with crap thinks that they can still get away with stuff. No, you know, and I'm going to say, it's like if you're karmic, I'm just saying, you do black magic, to harm people, whatever else, murder, whatever. I mean, to me, I really don't care as long as you stay away from me and innocent people, whatever. The thing is, and you get pregnant or whatever, and you do not change yourself to make it better, you do know that it runs through the blood stream, right? If you don't teach your child, okay, you need to make it better. And our family did this, or I started to do harm to people. Well, if you don't change yourself and, teach your kids, that's where the bloodline gets ruined. Also, you're only continuing whatever. I know I'm not. I know my, family isn't. And in the beginning, I mentioned who family is. Maybe I'll put it on my, whatever that thing is, bio or whatever, in there somewhere. Maybe I'll mention all that. But it has to stop. And all of you were told. And I did get confirmation. Like I said, usually, when I'm doing, well, when I did readings for people, everything always happened in threes. Could have been 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months, or maybe 3 years. It depends on what it was and what you did in between there. But because of now, I said that there's going to be an example made for others not to do. Well, more you do, every 3 hours, you'll be feeling it. But the every hour, depends on what it is. goes back instantly. Oh, it's every hour? Oh, oops. It's every hour. Sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was listening. Sorry. The every 3 hours is a different thing that we have to go over. Sorry. But really, it's ridiculous. Oh, and before I mention this, I saw a video and I had a problem with the video, whatever, and I heard bits and pieces. So I took it and I put down what I thought about it. I mean, it's almost the same thing, but anyway. Um, when I first started, I did a video on, it's ridiculous that hold it. Okay, whatever. Um, on, you know, visiting other countries or them coming out to states, the states or whatever, doesn't matter. That you should respect and, learn about their culture, how they do things, blah, 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 etc. That was in another video. Now, you can look it up, and this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if they were in high school or not. I'm not sure. But I think they were with, it was like, siblings and friends or whatever. It was like a small group. They went to visit, the soldiers that protect, the king and the queen. But anyway, they were saying all kinds of stuff, which was rude, first of all. They had no right. I mean, I've seen a whole bunch, you know, people know that they're not allowed to touch the horses. They're not allowed to touch, the soldiers, you know. But what do people do? They touch the horses, and then all of a sudden, they have to call in for help because the horse is out of control. Because they can't, do anything. is it that people have to go and, make problems? Now, these girls, you know, they were insulting. Oh, how can you do that? Or whatever. I didn't hear it because whoever did it had it low and you really couldn't hear. But somebody turned it up of what the police officer came over and blasted these girls. And you know what? I give him thumbs up. And I give these soldiers thumbs up what they have to go through. I mean, I always knew, you know, they were throwing water and all kinds of stuff. And this police officer, well, reamed them a new, you know what? You know, I don't, I couldn't see or hear everything that the police officer was saying, but you know, these soldiers are out there for hours guarding and protecting in all kinds of weather. And they have to wait until their shift is over. You know, can you do it? Can you stand there in the heat with no water? You know, or in the rain. And those horses, no wonder they're, you know, don't like anybody touching them. Yes, sometimes it depends on how many hours. Yes, they do take breaks. But say, you know, you just get on the shift or whatever. Say you didn't that you have to go take a pee. I'm not saying that they're not allowed. They just call in somebody or whatever. But what happens if, you're brand new or whatever and you don't know that you can call it in or whatever? How many hours you're standing there? You know, how many hours you're standing there and hearing all insults, but you're not allowed to move. Yeah, they walk back and forth, but there's certain times that they walk back and forth. And yes, sometimes they're allowed to, say something. You know, no one has respect. No, I shouldn't say no one. Some. I would like to see, you know, once or whatever, you know, that, whoever is trying to bully them, standing there for hours and hours and hours, whoever's bullying them, line them up and see if they can stand there while the soldier is on the other side doing the exact same thing to them. Let's see if you move. And let's see how easy you think it is. This is what I don't get. I mean, yes, they have to be trained, but people, see them doing it, and, they probably can't stand there, you know, that long or whatever. So they have to bully, someone because they know how to do it. Well, one, I would never be able to do it because, you know, I would love, people talking, at least I hear some talking or whatever. Because truthfully, if I heard silence, I would be laughing all day long. Because when I was younger, matter of fact, it happened twice. I went over to, the both houses or whatever, and I got invited for dinner. Now, at their dinner table, which I didn't know, you just ate. It had to be silence. You weren't allowed to speak. Well, I didn't know that. And I was asking questions, or whatever, just having fun. And finally, they were like, we're not allowed to speak. Well, I tried to sit there, quiet. I couldn't do it. I just kept laughing. At one home, it actually got them thinking, you know, that you can talk, whatever. Anyway, and plus, this is what I'm talking about. People like those kids, and I guess whoever was supposed to be chaperone them. This is what I'm talking about. People like them, you know, if you go visit other countries or whatever, there has to be at least one or whatever to ruin it for all or try to. It's not everybody that will do that. But some don't realize that. If there's one who, does something, from a different country or whatever, some think that it's all. No, doesn't matter. It could be in other countries or, whoever in the States or whatever. Everyone's not like people who do that are ignorant, disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. All that needs to be changed. Naturally. And don't, okay. And don't give me the BS. Oh, I don't like change. Well, then you stay the way you are. But don't make problems for others who are trying to make themselves better or, appreciate things or themselves and others. Don't mess it up for whoever. Which brings me to um, you know, like these ones who try to bring you down, try to control you, speak lies on you, then try to put up this fake self of themselves that they are right in what they said about you, which they never said you were saying the truth, that they're the ones who were trying to bring you down. They never said you were, an angel to help bring peace or healing or love, etc., to the world. They were trying to make you out, to be demonic, a villain, or a witch, whatever. Because they were jealous, mad, or whatever, because you want to make yourself better and your family, and they didn't. They are mad because, you woke up and you're better, you know, you're taking care of things, you're taking care of, doing what you need to do. They're mad. And because of what they tried to do, what they said to others, made you stronger, woke you up, and you didn't, let things bother you. You just kept making them think that, oh, okay, I'm the villain, this is what I did. Because I knew the whole time the truth would come out. Always. It always comes out. So, what I'm trying to say is, doesn't matter what situation you're in. You use your own mind. You know what's right and what's wrong. Wake up to that. And know who you are truly are. If someone lies and says that you did something and you know very well you didn't, don't worry about it. You keep going. Don't let them bother you. In your own way, you're actually showing everybody you're not that kind of a person. You know, see, everything that they did since I was young, or a baby, really, everything that I went through, you know, and still going through or whatever. But now it's time. My brothers and sisters, they make us all stronger. And just remember, you know, if you always go to God or, Jesus, angels, ancestors, the Blessed Mother, and you know what's right and what's wrong, always have faith because heaven above always has your back. And whatever situation it is that you can hear what people are saying or doing, you know, you can't see any of that. Always know and always let God handle it. What you can't see or hear. You know, always remember that. You know, and again, this isn't a personal message. And I know I spoke clearly, and I know that what I said, anyone could understand it. So I hope this helps someone. And again, never confront, you know, like I said, like in my situation, if you know who my groups are, don't confront, go to the authorities. This way the list can get longer. And it's not only the, me going through this. You know, and if you know who does the hacking or phone calls or whatever, again, don't take care of it. Go to the authorities. You know, I mentioned a few things that, what was going on. You know, I know somebody changed my, you know, license and etc. You know, sent someone, for mortgage, whatever. Don't confront these people. Go to the authorities, which I already know that all that's being dealt and they're all getting caught. But more people, speak up that know about it, the list gets longer. But again, I'm not the only one that's been saying it. If you know about it and did not speak up, well, you're part of whatever God has for you. It's time that, people start, well, speaking up. But as long as you know and speak the truth, and that that, that's what's going on. If you have evidence, fine. Don't just, go with the, I guess the game or whatever, or the fad or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Oh, well, everyone else is doing it. Well, I better speak and say it too. But you have no idea. Because none of you know, because of people, going and making all these false, I don't know, papers or whatever, saying that I'm doing all this. Do you know how much I had to go through to fix everything? This was before that my team got in touch with everybody to look into everything. Well, other than what God's doing. Because I'm tired of the BS. I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm not tired of it. That's another thing that I know that you're trying to do. That's another thing. It's not going to work. It's all going back. See, I dealt with some of you since I was young. And then, like I said, 4 or 5, it might be 5 or 6 years now. I don't even know. See, I don't care to keep track. But now it's time. It's time. I had to wait for me to, say something, which I did, to bring all of you down. But again, I'm not bringing you down. You're bringing yourselves down. But anyway, I have to go do something. Yeah, I'll make it. Everyone, have a great day and spread love and peace. Ciao.